Well, this video aged horribly. I have made a severe and continuous lapse in my judgment. The Dead Space Remake is actually kind of awesome, and if you want to know if it's worth playing, then here's your answer. It is. Especially if you enjoyed the original. It was clearly made by a team who were incredibly passionate about the source material, and I don't know why I didn't see that to begin with. Playing the Dead Space Remake has made me come to the sad conclusion that I'm just way too pessimistic about games now. But I mean, can you blame me? I played Saints Row 2022 willingly. The industry is full of publishers and even developers sometimes who just don't give a single shit about what they're making. It's so easy to fall into this cynical mindset about games. Sorry, I got a bit off track. Where was I? Oh yeah, the Dead Space Remake is stupendous. Let's talk about it. If you've played the original Dead Space, a lot of the remake will feel familiar, but there will be a lot of moments where you're like, wait, was this in the original? There are a lot of really cool changes that make the action horror gameplay of Dead Space even more arse-clenching. For example, one change are these sections where you're given a choice with a circuit breaker. To adjust power to a certain area, you need to turn off one thing that will completely impact the gameplay. For example, turning off the lights, which is what I always do in these situations. It's literally pitch black, but at least I'm not running for my life with no life support system. That just seems horrible. Why would anyone ever choose that? In fact, some entire sections have been completely overhauled. Even navigating around the Ishimura has been streamlined. Rather than the whole tram system just being a way to act as a loading screen for different chapters, making the Ishimura feel like a set of different levels, it's instead now an interconnected fast travel system. You can just go anywhere and backtrack to your heart's content. And you're going to want to do so because of these brand new security doors which hide a lot of goodies behind them. It's just so good. Now you know what else is good? NordVPN. Have you ever wanted to watch a show but it's not available in your country? Well then you need a good old-fashioned VPN to trick silly old Netflix into believing you live in a different country to give you access to the shows you can't watch in your own. You can say you live in the UK without having the unfortunate life of actually living there. It's brilliant. NordVPN also encrypts your data and keeps you safe from anyone trying to access your personal information when using public Wi-Fi. Check the link in the description below to find out more and see if you want to check out NordVPN. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, another really cool change is the way you acquire weapons. Sure, you get the plasma cutter the same way, but now you get other weapons in situations similar to when you get the plasma cutter. You'll get them in situations where you're most likely to use them, and this is another huge improvement because I would literally only really use the plasma cutter in the original game. I didn't even know there was a literal railgun in Dead Space. What the fuck? The engineer rig too. Whew. Don't get me started on it. I was kind of shitting myself with how the iconically beautiful level 3 rig would look in the remake. And yeah, it's bloody stupendous. Even if you don't like the suit, you get the original Legacy suit from the get-go to put on because again, this game was made by people who actually give a shit about the original game and respect it. This game was published by EA, by the way. Are they really the worst company anymore? I can easily think of a much worse company right now. I'm still not the biggest fan of how Isaac looks though. It's not because he looks bad or anything, it's just like I said in my previous video, he looks like Adam Sandler and you just can't unsee that shit.
Waiting for them to play Gangnam Style.
That's the only face I have an issue with actually. I know a lot of people complain about Nicole looking older and not young and hot anymore, but like, I'm gonna be honest with you, just go touch some grass. Who actually gives a shit? I'm still also kind of mixed about Isaac being voiced. Thankfully he never speaks unless he's spoken to, but some of his line delivery is just kind of funny. Fuck me! I do like how grossed out he sounds picking up new tools from dead bodies though. It's a nice touch. Now, this all leads on to what my original video was about, and that is the morgue cutscene. And guess what? It's actually not that bad. Yeah, it does drag a bit, but I guess it's to show brand new players what the Infector does, or as I like to call it, flaps. Not to mention, I love the Infector just being a little silly Billy infecting more bodies behind the glass while you're fighting the beefed up necromorph it just made. It basically plays the same as the original section, just with that slight change. If anything, it feels more tense in the remake because the Infector pisses off into the other room, giving it more time to create more necromorphs for you to fight. So yeah, I was wrong. There we go, fellas. I admit it, I was wrong. The Dead Space Remake is awesome, and I'm really enjoying it so far. By the way, which necromorph are you? I made this for my original Dead Space video, but I want to put it here again. Please let me know in the comments. I'm the Hunter, personally. Actually, speaking of the Hunter, they did him justice in this remake. He is horrifying. Honestly, look at this fucking thing.